So why take a flower essence in the beginning? Why use flower and mineral essences? Why use essences anyway? They are tools for helping us heal. They're tools to help oil the cogs of change. Flower and mineral essences can help us discover things that are beyond the veil. Things, sometimes when we need healing or we need to sort our stuff out, it can be so close that we don't know what that thing is, though we know we're struggling or suffering. It's so close, it's underneath our noses. So, when you use flower essences, of course you can be prescriptive. Of course you can just look up and take whatever essence you think that you should take. I warmly suggest you don't. I warmly suggest and encourage you to use your intuition. We can all do it. And there are different mediums, like the flower cards, like I explained, that's in the Oracle set that Wildflower makes. You can dowse, you can use the cranial sacral rhythm, the inner physician, to get that information back from the practitioner that you go and see. But they are really important tools, because they're not just tools, they're guides, they're like teachers. Like I said earlier, I think it's so important not to lead you away from the suffering. I think it's important to go into the suffering, into that place that needs healing, and not to avoid it. So, anger. Sometimes you can have anger so deep inside you. It's so combustible that if anyone would come near it, they may get hurt. I had that experience. There was an anger that was so deep inside of me that it terrified me. So I walled it away, I boxed it in. One day I got to meet Red Archangel. Again, it's a dead nettle. Red Archangel just sounds a bit better. Dead nettles don't necessarily sell commercially, though it is a dead nettle. But the vernacular name, Red Archangel. Red Archangel, I didn't know at the time what it was good for, but when I made it, it's as if it said, come, let's look at this thing called anger that you're experiencing. No, what do you mean? You sure about this? Someone's going to get hurt, right? No, just come on, let me hold your hand. We're going to go in the back door. We're not going to kick the front door down because this thing is going to explode. So come, let me hold your hand. This is Red Archangel saying this to me, right? Come in the back door, and we did. And we approached it from the inside, and it took the pressure out. It took the pressure out. That anger, I couldn't even express it in a healing session with anyone else because I really thought I was going to hurt somebody. That anger is not something to be afraid of. Fear is nothing to be afraid of. Don't believe what they say in Star Wars, where they say, if you feel fear and anger, that's the dark side coming near. That's rubbish. Fear and anger can save your life. It's part of the fight and flight mechanism. Something happened to me when I was way back, and that experience created a fracture in my energy field, in the auric field, the subtle bodies. Working with Red Archangel allowed me to take that pressure out from within, to heal it. So flower essences, why take flower essences? Because they're guides, they're teachers. They're not just things that you just take willy-nilly. You've got to be conscious with what you're doing. You've got to have the strength and courage of heart to face the fear and the anger and the hurt and the rejection and the pain. Because that pain and rejection and discord, that fracture within our auric field, is what creates dis-ease and ill health and separation from ourselves and nature. So flower essences are holistic tools to help us evolve as spiritual human beings, and not just us. Remember, I said it earlier, that the flower essences themselves, not the flower essences themselves, the devas, the plant spirits that you're working with, evolve by you interacting with them and taking with them. So it's a much bigger, it's not just about you, it's not just about me, it's about being conscious with what we're doing with nature. Nature wants to be a part of our healing process. And flower essence and mineral essences are a beautiful way, are a really beautiful way in us interacting with them again. It's really important. You know, when we look at nature and the evolutionary process at whatever way you approach it, whether it's Darwinian or whether it was nature intelligence, whole other discussion. The fact is, nature has provided all these beautiful gifts, all these beautiful, wonderful gifts, all the essential oil, all the herbs, to help us and other creatures that have been created. Why do you think that is? Why? It's because she loves us. Mother Nature loves us. She creates all these lovely things for us to be able to take. So now I'm talking that Mother Nature's like intelligent. Well, look at this, if I may. The flower. Back when Darwin was looking at the fossils of flowers, he realized that at some point of the evolutionary part of plants, there were no flowers at all. So they germinated by air and by root. And then suddenly, albeit very tiny, but it was intact, they find a fossil of an intact flower. There wasn't a progression through the evolutionary process. There was not a progression through the evolutionary process of the stigma, the stamen, the petal. It came complete. So plants produce flowers. So what? Well, why does a plant produce a flower? So it can germinate. How does it germinate? Sorry, these are binary questions, but work with me here, right? The flower and the flower itself, again, as it evolved into all the different flowers, its beauty, its colour, its form, its scent, its reward with nectar is for what? Well, for the birds and the bees and the insects. Tell me, those people who don't think that there's intelligence in nature and intelligence behind design, how on earth does a plant then know that if it creates such a thing with such beauty and such reward for it to expand itself, how does it know that there's another species, a completely other kingdom than itself? So the flower itself is a symbol of intelligence in nature. The flower itself is the symbol of intelligence in nature. Personally, that's what I feel. Personally, I feel Mother Nature then created that, and she loves us. And through these essences, we can work more closely with her, coming back to the mother, which we all need to do because we are so disconnected from Mother Earth. That's why you take flower essences and mineral essences. How about that?